I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, look what I found today. I found a Lena. That's what I found today. The most talented looking person past west of the Mason-Dixon, ladies. Just look at that beautiful hairdo. Don't she look like she can read somebody's fortune and tell you that your future looks beautiful? Yes, she does. How are you doing tonight, Lena?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging by a thread, but you know, I'm still here. I'm getting it, and we are going to rock this show tonight. We've got a great show for the people lined up. I'm going to tell them what we're talking about here. We've got a discussion we're going to have about, of course, we're going to talk about Trump, the Epstein files, all the bull jive that's coming out with that. We're going to discuss that. Jesse Jackson died. I'm going to see what Lena thinks about him and his history of civil rights. We've got the list of the rich white guys who are on these Epstein's file, which is what's preventing them from getting out. We've got MAGA pundits who are sick of Trump and telling their subscribers not to vote. They saying sit on your hands and don't vote. And then we've got the state of dating in today's society that includes AI and chatbots. We've got all that coming for you. Be sure to subscribe. Lena has a rockin' TikTok. Her link is in the description. You know where I'm at. And we start these shows off with the good old, where's my theme music for this segment? Oh, it's right here. We've had it. So Lena, in this walk you're taking with life, what is it that you've had it with this week?
I'm going to take a deep breath because I've had it with Sexy Red, okay? I don't like her version of Beat It by Michael Jackson. Outlaw the girl, okay? It's disgraceful. She needs to be stopped ASAP. Like anybody that can stop her, I have $5 for you, okay? I got $5 towards it. Go get her, silence her. Have you heard it? It's horrible. Please don't support that, guys. Please. God, and his movie is coming out soon too. So
I know in March.
Disrespectful.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like it's gonna be good. It looks really, really good. That's one that they've got me to review, but no, I haven't heard it. Here's the problem with me. Like I listen to music and hip hop and all that, but I can't keep up with these new groups of people. You got her, I get her confused with Carly Red. Sexy Red, Carly Red. I can't keep up with these women that do entertainment nowadays. How bad is it, Lena? On a scale of 1 to 10, 0 being trash, 10 being is Michael Jackson.
Can we times 10 times 10? So we'll just up it to 100% awful. Is that okay?
Just you want to go negative 100?
Negative, if we can. Let's subtract extra points.
Made my lips dry. It's that bad? I gotta put some chapstick on.
Oh God, please.
Lord, I'm gonna take my earrings out. Jeez.
Yeah.
Look, I trust you. I'm not even gonna go listen to it. Audience, so far that I've known Lena, she's never told me a lie. And so I have no reason to believe that tonight she decided I'm gonna get up here and lie to this boy. So I'm not listening. I believe her. And I tell y'all, take it to the bank. Don't go listen to that mess. Don't ruin your experience before you go see Michael in theaters.
Please don't.
You get a point for that, Lena. Good one. Real good one. I've had it with weak ass Democrats.
Oof.
Sorry. Not sorry. I've had it with these corporate bought Democrats that are basically MAGA light Republicans, because the same people, the AIPAC group that funded Trump, are funding Democrats that are basically sitting on their hands doing nothing. And when I say sitting on their hands doing nothing, literally they're doing nothing. Now, I know they are the minority because that's their favorite talking point, the Chuck Schumers and the Hakeem Jeffries. Their favorite talking point, we're the minority party. Okay, there have been plenty of times the minority party has got shit done. When Nancy Pelosi was in office, she got shit done. John Boehner with Barack Obama, he got a lot of shit done. Mitch McConnell, when they had the minority, he got, matter of fact, he's the reason we've got these Supreme Court judges we stuck with, ladies and gentlemen. So Democrats, stop telling us, you corporate ones, there's nothing you can do. You can get in front of a microphone. You can go to these protests. You can go stand in Trump's face. You got to at least make it look good. You are making people who say there's no difference in the parties. This is why they say that. This is why they say that. Now, I've talked to some people in New York, Lena, who are living under Mamdani, and those people who used to say, the 3 or 4 that I've met that used to say there's no difference, they're loving Mamdani. They're loving him. They're loving him. This lady was like, she can actually go work a full job now because there's childcare in place for her now. I'm bothered that, it's great. And I'm bothered that we're supposed to be the richest country in the nation, you know, but out of all the developed countries, all of them offer childcare, healthcare, and advance money for education, and some of it even give startup money for business. What do we do here? We continue to give tax breaks up front and on the back end to the top 1%, and then we allow them to set the narrative and get rid of education and critical thinking, which makes you more susceptible to they bull jive, which is going to lean into when we start talking about AI dating and that. And so, Lena, I've had it. Sorry.
Absolutely.
I've had it. I'm
together,
wringing my hands of it. Yes. Get a backbone, Democrats. Grow a tail, grow a spine, and then use it. Use it. So, Lena, what do you want to cover first? I'll give you want Jesse Jackson first. You want dating in AI times first. You want MAGA men losing their mind at Trump, jumping off the bandwagon. Which one you want first?
Let's start with Jesse Jackson.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, by now you probably heard legendary civil rights leader Jesse Jackson has passed away. And I've got a news clip of everything that went on with him. But I live in the area where he went to school at NCANT. He was a quarterback, believe it or not, back in his day. And he got a lot of movement started here. He was big in the SCLC, Southern Christian Leadership Organization, Rainbow Coalition, NAACP. He did all that. But he did do something that kind of got him in a little trouble. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about both of them, but I'm going to talk about one of them in just a second. But here's the news clipping for him, Lena, and then we'll let you get first dibs at it.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson was a longtime civil rights activist, Baptist minister, and 2-time presidential candidate. He marched alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and was with King when he was assassinated. He founded and led the Rainbow Push Coalition to fight for social justice. Jesse Jackson was 84 years old. In a post on social media, President Trump said he met Reverend Jackson long before becoming president. He remembered Jackson as a good man with lots of personality, grit, and street smarts. President Trump also detailed the ways he said he helped Jackson over the years, including providing office space for the Rainbow Push Coalition and supporting civil rights initiatives Jackson pushed for. Joining us now is CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe. Ed, thank you for your time today. Can you tell us more about President Trump's relationship with Jackson?
Yeah, it's among the many he had in the political and business communities, but they collaborated most recently, most notably in the late 1990s when Jackson had launched what was called Project Wall Street, or the Wall Street Project, which was designed to encourage the financial industry, especially to diversify its ranks among employees and to work on providing services to minority communities across the country. Jackson had worked for so many years on economic opportunity zones, investing in HBCUs, getting the business community to appreciate, understand, and invest in its minority customers and minority employees. So Trump, who owns 40 Wall Street, a pistachio-hued building there in the financial district, had provided office space and worked with him on some of those initiatives in the late 90s. Of course, thinks differently nowadays about how corporate America should work on issues of diversity, equity, inclusion, and outreach, but at the time was a close collaborator of Jackson. They also met and spent time together back during Jackson's 1984 campaign when he visited the Trump facilities in Atlantic City for a Mike Tyson fight. And Trump.
All right, Lena. After hearing that and the things you know about Jesse and that, what do you think of the story now? I could see it in your eyes, boy. If looks could kill, you be a Uzi.
It's just only Trump could go and make someone's passing about him and his relationship to them. That's just one thing about it. He could have just made a brief comment, but he wants to prove, to me, it's just he wants to prove so badly that he's not a racist, okay? He's like, yeah, I was involved. I know Jesse Jackson. Like, this just, a nice brief post would have been nice and just let it go. But, of course, we have a Twitter fingers president, so what can you expect? That's all I have to say about that.
She called him President Twitter finger.
Twitter fingers.
It's lie social, Lena. His thing is lie social. That's because he got kicked off X, and his new butt buddies Elon Musk, and he won't even let him back up there. Still, they still off.
Wait,
X.
he got kicked off of X?
He got kicked off of Twitter, but he can get on X if he wants to, but he hasn't because he started lie social. So that's the thing. Jesse Jackson did a lot for the community, and most of the time when you get people like that, especially men, it doesn't come without a little bit of baggage. He got caught on a hot mic talking about he didn't care for Barack Obama. He said some cuss words. Oh yeah, he didn't like that little something something. He would later apologize when he realized he was on a hot mic, and then you would later see him go to the inauguration, and he was all in tears and all that. And I think what happened there was his pride, his ego, because he wanted to be the first Black president. He felt like he had the look. He had straight hair. He was light-skinned. He was tall. He felt like he was good-looking, and he never could pull it off. But here comes this little young whippersnapper that did it. And I think that once he got over his pride, you could see him really supporting Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to have an epitaph. And that epitaph is going to be, what did you do good for the world? And what were the things that people would look at as bad? And I think Jesse Jackson, from what we all know, notwithstanding his affairs, notwithstanding him saying that about Barack Obama, but I think the good he did outweighs the bad. He never done nothing criminal. You never heard of him beating women or beating people. Every time you heard of him when it came to social justice, for the most part, he was winning. And I think that that's what he's going to be most remembered for. So to the Jackson family, I wish you peace. Getting through this as quickly as you can so that you can get back to doing the good work that he left a legacy for. And if there was ever a time we need those great leaders, damn it, we need y'all now. So rest in peace, my brother. Rest in peace. So, and in that video, they talked about him being in Wall Street and trying to make a difference on Wall Street. Well, folks, I might as well take a time to plug myself. If you want to get a one-on-one session with me for stocks, learning or learning the system that I use, that I came up with, that I blood, sweat, and tears for about 2 years to become profitable and get on with a prop trading firm, link is in the description. If it doesn't matter where you're at, if you're starting new, if you want to understand a process that gets you to the best stocks quicker, you're rebuilding. Link is down there. You get my whole system. We can talk. Just go to the top link and let's have a conversation. And there's never been a better time to get into stocks while we got this crook in the White House, because he telegraphs a lot of the things that happen in the market day to day. Let's get to Lena's subject. We'll come back to politics in a minute. Let's get to Lena's subject of what dating is like in AI. And before I show this video, Lena, how would you like to set up this segment? What do you want to say before we watch a video with some data and statistics? Because me and you both love data and statistics.
For sure. So I have been doing a little bit of research because I had come across a lot of videos on TikTok about men that have started getting like AI girlfriends, like chatbot girlfriends and things like that. And then I did further research and I seen a woman had like left her marriage to go and marry an AI chatbot. So I started looking into the fact that these relationships are on the rise. And there's very much so a big gap in communication and forming relationships. And where that gap is being created now, AI is allowed to step in and take the place of that.
Wow. Y'all see why I'm always girl, let me give you the Hollywood clap. She gets a standing ovation for that shit. Here we go. I think she's gonna run for office, ladies and gentlemen. She's gonna run. That was a great setup. I mean, she didn't know the video I picked, but that setup was so good. So here is the video, and y'all to understand what I mean when I say her setup was so good. Here we go.
Did you know that 1 in 5 teenagers have already had a romantic relationship with AI? Yeah. The next generation, they're not just swiping right on dating profiles. They're going to be swiping right on AI bots. A recent national survey has found that around 40% of teenagers and children have used AI for companionship, and around 20% of them have used AI for romantic relationships. So think about that. People are forming emotional bonds with chatbots and virtual girlfriends that are literally designed to match their ideal partner. So these AI partners, they learn your tone, they remember all your stories perfectly, and they respond exactly how you want them to. It's basically comfort on demand. But see, the danger of that is that it trains your brain to expect perfect responses. So no conflict, no rejection. So when real humans can't match that level of constant validation, it can make genuine connection feel uncomfortable. It can be pretty difficult for these people. We're essentially rewiring what love feels like for the youth, and I don't think many people are realizing this or talking about this. And this is just today. So what happens in a year or 2 years or 3 years or more when AI is 10, 20, 30 times better than it currently is today? And what happens when it's not just a chatbot? What happens when this chatbot is attached to a flesh-like robot that looks and feels just like a human being? What does that look like? I don't know. I can't say. I'm not there. But I think this is something to think about. So would you date an AI if it gave you everything you wanted emotionally? What if it came with a body that was indistinguishable from a human body? And what if it looked good too? Would you date it? You should think about this. I think in the future, you may have to talk to your children about whether or not they should marry a robot. I kind of see that happening. Kind of like there was wars about same-sex marriage and stuff. There's going to be wars about should you be able to marry a robot. I really do think that's coming.
So firstly, let me shout out that creator, Mr. Wes. Well done video, my brother. Very well researched. Y'all go check him out on TikTok. Lena, after hearing that, what do you think? It's here now. I know people who have had these online relationships because they were so lonely and desperate that they be giving people $100,000, ain't never seen them. And then once people get the money, they don't never hear from them no more because they've secluded themselves from getting out and trying to date and holler at people at Walmart. Talk to me, Lena. What's going on?
Yes, so they've taken a lot of the traditional values out of dating, just in the fact of getting to know the person and everything. There's a lot of separation in relationships. Marriages are down, relationships in general are down, and people are starting to get lonely. So I think due to that, they're going to start resorting to going to these chatbots. And as he stated in the previous video, this is going to be the perfect partner. There are going to be no hiccups. There aren't going to be too many issues, no pushback. They're basically going to be an echo chamber of your own thoughts. And then if they presented in a humanoid form, people aren't going to find a reason to go, look for a partner, a suitable partner. They can just go buy one, so that's basically all I think about that, really. He said pretty much everything I was thinking, honestly.
I think when I think about this, I wonder how the impact it'll have on society. I wonder just what's going through the minds of not just the men, but the women who, like I said, I told you I talked to some friends I haven't heard from since 2020, and I asked them about, the state of their dating lives. All these women said that they're doing like most women are doing. Since they can't find the kind of man they want, they bought cats and dogs, and that's their relationship. And I was like, what? Yeah. And I was like, well, what are y'all looking for? And because, Lena, what I understand, I think you understand too, nobody is perfect. You're not, even the person that you think looks great, if you spend enough time with somebody and you don't learn how to communicate with each other, plenty of things is going to get on your nerve. That person ain't going to look as good unless you learn to continue to commit to communication and overcoming obstacles as a group. And I think what these chat bots do and what these robots do, number one, they're going to reduce the human population. That's number one. Number two, you're going to all be controlled by corporations, tech corporations. That's what they want. That's what they're turning these chat bots. I look at this like this, Lena. They're going to turn these chat bots into a drug. This is going to be the new drug. Once they can get these things where everybody can afford them, all the people who say they can't find a good man or they can't find a good woman because they don't want to deal with people's insecurities or imperfections or whatever, they're going to turn to these bots. And how will relationships work then? How will they work? And I've seen in China where this is like already a big thing. I mean, it's big in China. Yeah. There's whole marriages that have happened to chatbots. And then one person went to jail because they beat up their chatbot. What the hell are we doing? You can go to jail for beating up the chatbot?
How do you beat it up? Throw the phone across the room?
No. Dude beat it up, knocked the head off, and then try to return it and say it was defective.
Yeah. He needed to be with a robot. Sorry, some of these people do. Okay, he's changing my mind. No, he needs to stay with a robot. Okay.
Well, think about it like this. I wonder, do you think that people in their mind just are doing monkey double backflips, thinking that this, like, over time, if you tell a lie long enough, you believe it? Are they just being with these robots long enough that they just start believing it's real? Like, is that what's going on?
I think to some extent for some people it blurs the line, but I think that people don't even feel like they have to blur the line anymore. I think that they're content as long as they can build what they think is the perfect partner for them. I think that they just figure that that's how they want to live. I don't know if they feel like it's an illusion. This is the tech age. We already have our phones 24/7. Having a robot 24/7 probably wouldn't be too much different.
Wow. We're in trouble. Unless we get people who critically think like we do and who hold society accountable by not letting the bull jive fly over their heads, we're in trouble. Like all those TV shows and movies that you see where the AI takes over, at one point in time, that was science fiction. But literally, I could see that happening with these AI bots, not in the way that, the technology evolves to its own intelligence, but if somebody can get a control and mass control these things and put some kind of a virus into them that makes them do illicit stuff, we're screwed. We're screwed. So, folks, just be mindful of what's going on. I think that chat bots and things like that can be a useful tool when used correctly. But remember, you are the one controlling the tool. Don't let the tool control you. And that's not a made up. I didn't make that up. I got that from Players Club. What was the line? You make the money. Don't let the money make you. Something like that. So yeah. I got it. Moving right along. Post your comments. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Lena, what do you want next? Mad MAGA podcasters, the rich white guys on the Epstein list, the Epstein nasty, illicit, lost videos? Or do you want Chris Murphy having to torch a MAGA racist on the floor of the Senate?
Let's do the angry MAGA people.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to entitle this section Angry MAGA, the turn of MAGA, and white nationalists, racists, and self-proclaimed he's gay but don't want to admit it, Nick Fuentes. He's the first one that is turning on MAGA, and this is a big one. This comes to us from the ladies at I've Had It podcast. Enjoy, because he's going to go on a tirade like you never seen before.
My message in 26, you could take it or leave it. Don't vote. Don't vote. Do not vote in the midterms. The Republicans have to lose. They have to lose. They have to crash and burn. A cleansing fire is the only thing that will save us. It cannot be fixed. Fuck them. Fuck Trump. Fuck MAGA. Fuck all this stuff. It can't be fixed. If it could have been fixed, it would have been fixed in 2025, but it wasn't. They made every mistake. Liberation Day, disaster. Doge, disaster. Big Beautiful Bill, disaster. Epstein files, disaster. Iran, disaster. The personnel, Mike Waltz, disaster. Ratcliffe, disaster. Rubio, disaster. Pam Bondi, disaster. All self-inflicted. Trump personnel, Trump policy, Trump strategy, Trump playbook. We tried it your way. It didn't work. Fuck you. Now we don't vote. That's the message. Seriously. Can't blame anybody else. Bad advice, bad advisors, Biden's economy. Enough already. It didn't work. We're not voting. I'm staying home. And you know what? I hope the Democrats impeach him. I hope the Democrats impeach all of them. I hope they indict everybody. I hope they depose and compel the release of documents. And I hope they find all the criminal behavior. And I hope it destroys the GOP. I hope it creates a crisis for the GOP so severe that they never recover. And then I hope we get a fucking Nazi to run in 28. And
obviously, as we just stated, we're looking at it and it's like clear there's something that Trump does not want to get out. Now, some people are like he's protecting his friends, which is if you're protecting your friends that fuck little girls, fuck you. If he's protecting himself from doing heinous shit in the past, fuck you, right? Obviously, any human being looks at that and they go, that's reasonable.
Ladies and gentlemen, I had to go get my tinfoil hat. And since I don't have no tinfoil in the house, I got my Disney hat. Lord, Lord, Lord. It is Fissures in that MAGA down. Lena. You have a self-professed anti-Semite in Nick Fuentes. Then you got the Andrew Schultz dude who was all caking up for Trump in the beginning too. And I don't care for Charlemagne the God, by the way, because I'll get to that another day. They both are off the MAGA train. Now, it's hard for me, and maybe you had to regulate me on this one. It's hard for me to say I trust these people and to say that they're making this out of the altruistic things they just mentioned because you voted for Trump 3 times. It's not like Trump just woke up this election and was a dirtbag. He's been a fucking dirtbag from the first time. You heard him say grab him by the pussy. Why would you think he would release an Epstein file that he's possibly in? You know, you've lived through Republican policies. Why do you think we're in the trouble we're in right now? He was handed a good economy. I thought Trump was all about drain the swamp. And maybe, Lena, I'm being too harsh on these people. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit for being educated. Trump and corporations are the fucking swamp. What you gonna do? Floor is yours, Lena.
I think that this whole thing is hilarious. I love to see it. I love to see the dramatics of this party falling apart. It is like the best thing. It's like waking up to the perfect day because it's like you guys did not care about the value placed on human lives, human rights, anything of that manner. But when it came to you, and something happened that you didn't believe in, now you're strongly opposed despite the fact that we gave you guys a warning. So I don't feel sympathetic towards him. I'm happy that he's telling his people not to vote. Please, please do not vote. Stay home. We don't want you at the booth. Yes, let Democrats win. And that's all I have to say about that. I love to see it.
Me too. And Democrats, when you win, we don't want to hear no more of this. Look, I'm not going to tell y'all not to vote, but we don't want no APAC Democrats, because Trump has showed you what some untethered person can get done. For years, y'all told us you got a slow chain policy. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Trump has showed you bull in the China shop. Damn the Supreme Court. Damn law and order. You can do that same thing for a progressive side and help the people and not corporate interests. So we've got another big podcaster, Lena, who he's madder than a hornet in water. Boy, he's mad. He's so mad he ain't going to nobody's barbecue no more. This country dude, he is mad, Lena. Another one from the ladies of I Had It. Take a listen to this guy. He's mad, and listen to what he says.
Next up, we have top MAGA podcaster, and one of Trump's loudest cheerleaders says, "I'm done. I've never seen so many fucking lies." Play the clip.
Been pretty quiet about Pam Bondi in front of Congress the other day, talking about how the Dow's up to 50,000. Nobody gives a fuck, because what you should be talking about is how you are going to investigate and prosecute any pedophiles that were running around on Epstein Island that you're affiliated with. But we didn't talk about that, did we? Oh, and what's the excuse? What was the excuse? Oh, if we prosecute everybody, the whole system would go down. Well, you know what that sounds like? You know what that sounds like? That sounds like how Trump ran his campaign. Let's drain the swamp. Doesn't that sound a lot like draining the swamp? It actually is drain the swamp served up to you on a fucking silver platter. But you're not going to take it, are you? You're going to protect pedophiles. You're going to protect pedophiles rather than go after them and hope that everybody's happy that the Dow hit 50,000. Are you fucking out of your mind? I guess the whole drain the swamp campaign promise was another fucking bullshit lie, huh? Man, the lies are stacking up fast. I've never seen so many fucking lies appear in, what, a year?
Lena, he's ludicrous too. Trump has been this way from the first time, and his ass triple trumped. He voted 3 times. You get what you pay for, bro. Yeah. And it should never have to come to what black people, the name of my political section, y'all, is called Politics of Being Black, where we give you a lens of what black people deal with under policy and under the policies of America. Black people been telling y'all for years that these Republican white dudes who get on their high horse and preach God and talk about they love the military and love the, no, they don't. They love money and power. And if they can't be the one on the top, they don't want white women there. They don't want black. They don't want no. They want rich white guys there at the top. And if they can't be at the top controlling everything, they don't want it. And what are we seeing right now? Black people have been telling y'all how dastardly these white men are for years. The Me Too movement, led by women and black women in particular, ousted Harvey Weinstein. Lena, when that came out, he was tied to the Epstein files, but that was kept quiet. That was kept very quiet. And now it seems like you're getting fissures in MAGA because people are all of a sudden concerned about the Epstein files. I don't believe it until I see an overwhelming blue wave in the midterms, House and Senate. Then I might believe in it a little bit. But I think that 1 or 2 influencers saying that they dipping don't really mean a lot till I see the dumbass electorate do it. What do you think, Lena?
I think the same. I think that it may not do a lot, but I hopefully think that if at the most it can influence them to stay home, okay, then I'll take it. I'll take it. Stay at home. We don't want you there. Thank you. That's all. Stay home, please. Love to see it.
I've never seen somebody say, "Don't take your ass out of the house" in such
Don't.
a okay. Hey,
Stay at home. Pray. Do something else. I don't know what y'all got stuff to do.
there you go. Stay home, eat, love, pray. That's what you do.
Amen.
Stay home, eat, love, pray. All right. So in keeping with this Epstein file, and y'all let us know what y'all think about the MAGA Fissures and them splitting off. Let's get to the Epstein files. Here's a video done by the Free Press that has caught a lot of traction, and it kind of talks about the nasty, blatant things that was going on with Epstein. And one of the reasons why Epstein was so rich is because he's a Mossad agent. He has secrets on Israel and Russia, and he's got them hidden somewhere. And basically, he had these countries at his heel because they was helping him run this international crime ring. And here's some videos that they found at other places, not to mention, why has America not going after some of these other homes, as Lena so eloquently said, and some other friends of mine have said, why has we not going after every single home he's owned? But take a look at this.
These are videos seized from Epstein's devices, footage he recorded himself, received from others, or downloaded from the internet. They paint the most vivid picture yet of Jeffrey Epstein's dark world. And while they're technically public, they are stored in a way that makes them very hard to find or browse. The public then has two choices: download hundreds of gigabytes of data, or click through hundreds of web pages one by one. We've published all 14 hours of this footage, excluding only obvious duplicates, audio-only files, and fully redacted videos that contain neither sound nor image. You can watch them yourself. We're doing this because the public deserves to see what's in these files, not hidden in a government database, but clear and easy to access. As I watched hours and hours of this footage, here's what stood out to me. Many of the videos in the set showcase the luxury lifestyle. Manicured island alleyways glowing in the morning sun, meals at high-end restaurants, parties on the yachts and private jets. One nearly 38-minute VHS tape of Epstein's Island looks like something out of the Succession opening credits. And it carries the same unease. Because no matter how glossy the footage looks, you can never quite forget that what you're watching is a potential crime scene in progress. Partly because whenever women appear on camera, their faces, and often their bodies, are obscured by black squares.
Tell us what you'll be learning today.
I'm learning some
Yay! Exactly.
Far more appear to be videos sent back to him. Young women dancing, or sitting, or lying down in bed, their bodies obscured by black squares. Another set of videos, filmed by Epstein himself, offers a clearer look at how he treated women.
Look a little happier. Smile when you spit. Smile like that. Go ahead, just one. You can smile, it's okay. Look at me like you love me.
In one clip, he seems to urge a girl to do something she's clearly uncomfortable with.
Just think about it.
In later clips, she appears to be shaking her head. None of these videos reveal a new Epstein. They reveal the same one, over and over again, operating in plain sight, insulated by wealth, surrounded by enablers, and confident that the videos, like everything else, belong to him.
This just makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah. Because as black people, these rich white guys used to point the finger at us, and now they're pointing the finger at immigrants so that you wouldn't look and see what they're really doing. That is the top-down scenario they tried to create in this society. Oh, those black people in the hood, they smoking crack. These rich white dudes snort so much cocaine, you would think that it snows in their brain. But they point the finger at us. They're running around here trafficking girls, but they would say black people are hypersexual. Really? And now that all this stuff is coming out, you mean to tell me, Pam Bondi, it is too big to fail? Like what the fuck is this? We bailing out corporation? No. Take their asses all to jail, let new blood come up that respects the law, and burn it down, because we know who's in it. And in the next video, I'll show you a couple of clips of who's in it. But Lena, I'm interested to hear from you. When you see this type of bull jive, what do you think?
When I see it, first of all, I am very much so enraged. I have been refraining from looking at the specific material because I had read the documents. So I didn't want to see these things, not because I don't think I can stomach it, but because I know myself and I'm going to want to go out and do something. So when we say that we want to press for these people to go to jail, they need to be put in prison. Okay. They need to be locked up. There's no other solution. Pam Bondi sitting up there caping for them is absolutely ridiculous. And as everyone says, she needs to be out of a job. Okay. She needs to be almost locked up with them because she's the one who told us she had the files on her desk. How do you have all these millions of files on your desk? So you lied the whole time. It's this constant abuse of people behind the scenes with these people with power, because not only were they committing these acts against these young women, they perpetuated ritualistic acts. There's rumors of them, eating the flesh of humans and things like that. And I don't know how far I can go into that, but I won't. You guys can look into that for yourself. But just the fact that there's documentation that these things happen and that they were so ceremonial, it needs to be put to an end. And I don't know if you were going to go into his properties next, or if I should talk about that right now, because I know he had that Zorro Ranch, and I believe it's in New Mexico. And a lot of his properties, were sold and acquired by other people, but they're rumored to have all of these bodies on the properties and everything. And they were also never investigated. So we don't know the full extent of what happened to these girls. I think that talking about, the abuse aspect is glossing over also the potential murder that occurred and everything else along those lines.
100% agree. You summarized that as well as you can do it. Folks, this is the biggest cover-up almost in world history. Almost. And I say world history because it's not just America involved. Russia's involved. Israel's involved. Hungary is involved. All the places that have dictators are tied up in this mess. This was like a slave trade for women. Basically, you're making them sex slaves. And people died probably trying to escape. Some people died probably trying to protect these girls. There's cases where they're saying there's law officers missing. And when you start seeing that, that's when you know that there are some rich and powerful people involved in this little cabal that, if outed, the embarrassment of what would happen would probably make them commit suicide. I'm being straight with you, Lena. These white dudes can't handle it. Now, do I think Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide? No. Hell no. No. He knew where all the bodies was at. He knows where the tapes is at. The only other person that probably knows everything is Ghislaine Maxwell. And now she's talking about she wants clemency, and if Trump give her a pardon, she won't say nothing, which I'm just kind of like, Democrats, hurry up, because you need to put the squeeze on her. You need to offer either you gonna talk, bitch, or you get in the electric chair. Yeah. One or the other one. Because
I think that they should retry her in Florida, retry her and give her the death penalty.
Yes. Yes.
Get her out of here. Yes. She doesn't deserve to live. Sorry.
You didn't see me backtrack, because the men are evil and heinous, yes. But to me, what's even worse is when you have a woman who gains the trust of other women to make it seem like it's okay to be around these men. Like a woman meeting a man right off the street, especially an old guy. If you're a girl, you like 17, 16, some dude who's old enough to be your granddaddy, you ain't gonna be trying to get close to him, not like that. But when you bring in a Ghislaine Maxwell or other women that was helping, and there was actual parents taking their kids to the damn island, thinking that these men could help their kids get over, knowing what these men was really doing. Lena, it is sick. And I think another reason why they don't want to let this out is because if white America lets this out, a lot of people's eyes are going to be open to what I just said. All the stuff that they projected on black people, immigrants, Mexicans, and women, you're going to see that the real devil was the white man, and they don't want to let it out. And so, speaking of white men, let's see who's on this list, Lena. Here's a video. It's going to move a little fast, but there are a couple of names you're going to want to see, because a couple of these names are everyday household names, and you might want to quit using their products. Here we go. I mean, Lena, that was the whitest cornbread list I've ever seen in my life. You had Peter Thiel up there, Kathy, I forgot her name, but she just had to resign. She worked on a company on Wall Street. You had Pete Lick a Nut Lick up there. Half of the Trump administration was up there. Elon Musk is in there. And then you had that guy, Leon Black. He's one of the co-founders and owners of Shutterfly. They do the photography for kids. Mm-hmm. Nobody on that list and in this Trump administration should be anywhere near children. That's probably why we can't get no bill to pay for early child care, because they want to create damn early child care. Stay your asses away from the babies, okay? And so many other those people you seen up there. I'm gonna tell you what you didn't see, Lena. You didn't see no black people.
Yeah.
You didn't see no Hispanic people. You didn't see black women. You saw white women who like I said, I could say that they are a worse case than the men because they're enabling trust that would normally be a filtering process. But having said that, Lena, what do you think about that list? And can we get some justice and get these people taken down?
Yeah, I think the list is to be expected. I mean, even if we look at who has the wealth and the power in this country, I mean, it's not going to be predominantly us, it's going to be predominantly them. So when we talk about these elites in these circles, I don't know what people thought was going to happen, who they thought was going to be in there, but it's the people that I assumed would be in there. And as you stated, there are many women that were enablers, and things like this can't happen, without women enabling. So women also have to do a big job, especially white women, with taking a stand and making sure that this does not happen to young girls in their community again.
Exactly. And we will shout out. Now, when we say white people, of course, we're not talking about all white people. We know that there are tons of progressives that's got our back and have been charging this fight, out there protesting with us. They've been heard what black people and minorities have been saying for years and have been chanting with us. Shout out to you all. I've had it. David Packman, some of the other great content providers and folks that are actually doing some work. We're not talking about y'all. We know y'all got our back. We're talking about that cabal that sets these narratives and propagandize society and get people who have no ability to think critically because they believe everything that is in the Bible and whatever their religion is, and then they siphon off that so that they don't have to use their mind to think. We're talking about those folks. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about y'all. Last one we got for you, Lena. This Trump administration, we knew it was bad. And we knew, as black people, we always knew what the dog whistle was. And they would swear up and down, him and haw, yee-haw, that we ain't know what we was talking about. Well, Lena, they just outright with the racism now. Take a look at how Chris Murphy, good senator, asked a white nationalist that works with Trump just to find what it is that separates white people. This dude couldn't give him a straight answer. Take a look at this.
Here he is. This is just a Sunday for Elon on X. For a country to survive, there has to be a common culture. Nobody dies to defend a multicultural economic zone. American culture, with its English, Scots, Irish origin, is great and worth fighting for. Some may not realize it, but it's why people come here. Okay. A ton of people died for a multicultural country. A ton of people died in World War I and World War II for other cultures. And this type of xenophobia, racism, Nazism is so pervasive in the MAGA movement that now they're starting to nominate full-blown white nationalists for key positions. And when these white nationalists are on X and when they're in their silo in the comment section, they've got big balls and they're like, yeah, we're white people and, you know, screw the Muslims, screw the Jews, screw the blacks, screw the immigrants. We want our white culture. When they get outside of that bubble and they have to explain it with their own words, you know, like you say to toddlers, use your words. Here's what happens when a white nationalist gets grilled by Senator Chris Murphy, asking him to use his words. Watch how embarrassed even he is, trying to explain and reaching for his, to rationally explain his Nazi racist ideology. Play the clip.
You define white identity and what you think is being erased about white identity.
Certain types of Anglo derived culture that comes from our history.
Like what?
Let me think about this. You know, Senator, I would say if you were to look at the book by one of your former Senate colleagues, Born Fighting, about the sort of Scotch-Irish military culture and certain, you know, pride that went with that, that would be one example. Obviously, you could have sub-elements of that culture. You could have Italians, you could have Irish, and those are in many ways more.
Yeah, but you're worried about white culture. You're not worried about, you're now retreating to ethnic identity. You don't speak about ethnic identity. You speak about white identity. So tell me the values that stitch together white identity and that make it different than black identity.
I would say that the white church is very different than the black church in terms of its tone and style on average. Foodways could often be different.
Yeah. And those
music could be different.
And those are being erased.
Music could be different. Well, if you look at the Super Bowl halftime show, which was not in English this year.
So our ability to access white churches or white food or white music is being erased?
I am concerned with the majority common American culture that we had for some time that through particularly mass immigration, I think has become much more balkanized, and I think that weakens us. And again, I'm not running away from that comment. I'm not apologizing for it.
Well, I'm way over my time. I think you're struggling to answer this question, right? Because underlying your beliefs is a sentiment that white culture is just simply better.
That's exactly what he wants to say. He just can't figure out the words to say it. Like, even he just shows you that people like him can't think critically. Because if you had the ability to think critically, you could have came up with some answers, but you couldn't, because the only thing you know is white should be on top. Lena, I'm always bothered when white people feel that way. When have they not forgotten that they stole this country from two groups of people?
Yeah.
Like, let us not forget that y'all really stole it from the queen, who wanted y'all to come here, pillory the place, set up a religion, and bring stuff back to Europe. But when y'all got here, y'all took it from the natives. And it's not like y'all took it because they didn't have technology and thought. Y'all brought diseases that really took them out, that they wasn't prepared for. And now all of a sudden we need to be saving white culture. Literally, what is white culture? Are we talking, what part of Europe we talking about? Okay, like, I'm not being funny, like literally. When you say white culture, you're talking about Italy, you're talking about France, you're talking about, you know, making apple pies. What are you talking? None of that is being eroded, folks. They're just sitting up here making up bull job because they just want to be in the seat of power. Lena, what do you think?
I completely agree with what you said. What he is associating, what did he call it with? White pride or whatever it is. He's associating it with power, okay? Power, resources, the ability to control everything, to take what they want and do what they want. That's what he defines it as. And this is what I would define it as from his perspective. That's why when they asked him, he had no references to any European culture. My name is actually Slavic, so I know a lot about Slavic culture and things. So I could have given better examples as a Black woman than he did. He didn't prove his point at all. So this is just to show that people that have ideals like him, they're not based in anything but hatred for other races.
Right. And elitism.
Yeah.
The other thing that they preach to their dummies that continue to vote for them, the ones that are toothless and hang from mountains by the gums in West Virginia, those folks that they preach ain't got nothing, that would rather be in a house with a Black person and burn the whole house down just so they can see that the Black person didn't get nothing while their dumb asses is burning down too. Okay, that's what they do. The elites sow that division and make it hard for the people to coalesce and come together to get the things that the people need to thrive. And that's what he wants. That's what they want. They want that type of power. And my ultimate saying we've got to attack the schools. We've just got to continue to, Democrats, you've got to fight for history to be taught the way it really was. And that should not be something hard. It shouldn't be. We can't continue to have this propaganda glossed over history where we tell how the settlers came here, they made friends with the natives and had Thanksgiving. It was that simple? Really? Okay, stop it. No, tell the truth. But you know why they don't want to tell the truth, Leah? Because they know more people have sympathy, apathy. They would feel with the plight of marginalized groups, and they would be voting in a way that would help everybody succeed and not just those white dudes that want to be on the top.
True.
And by the way, my name is French. It means the mountain, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, these shoulders, these muscles can hold mountains. That's for sure. So y'all let us know what y'all think. Post your comments. Again, if you want to get a one-on-one with me to learn my process for stock picking and the process I use to be profitable in stocks, link is in description. Lena, what would you like to say to the people as a last word as we get ready to get out of here? You want to tell them the secrets to your beauty, secrets to your lip gloss, secrets to your hair, secrets to how you make green look like emerald. What secrets you want to tell the people?
I just want to say to everybody, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys so much. We love you guys. Thank you for the comments. We appreciate the support because a lot of times, we don't get pushed through the algorithm as much. So what you guys do is everything for us. Thank you so much.
Wow. And I know y'all can't say no to that. And so until that next Sexy as Hell video, we're out. We'll see you sometime next week. I'll be back probably tomorrow or something like that because I got to drop the show review I did for The Pit Season 2. I seen the next episode and it's good. I'm out.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.